Good evening, fans, and welcome to WECU Court Carver Gymnasium for tonight's Great Northwest Athletic Conference game featuring the number 9 Montana State Billings Yellow Jackets and your number 17 nationally ranked Western Washington Vikings. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we gather tonight on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples who have lived in the Salish Sea Basin throughout the San Juan Islands and the North Cascades watershed from time immemorial. Please join us in expressing our deepest respect and gratitude for our indigenous neighbors, the Lummi Nation and Nooksack tribe, for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. Fans, please rise if able and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem. And now, let's meet the starters for the MSU Billings Yellow Jackets. This starting five is announced by head coach Kevin Wooden, associate head coach Alicia Breen, and assistants Daniel Beggar and Christine Funk. A junior from Fort Benton, Montana, 5'8" guard, number 5, Aspen Giese. A senior from Billings, Montana, a 6'2" forward, number 10, Cola Badbear. A senior from Billings, Montana, 5'11" guard, number 12, Shayla Montague. A junior from Scobie, Montana, 5'8" guard, number 14, Courtney Nelson. And a junior from Winifred, Montana, a 5'11" forward, number 30, Deani Boyce. And now, let's get ready to meet your Western Washington University Vikings. Is the starting five for your Vikings as announced by head coach Carmen Dolfo and assistant coaches Stacy Turrell, Bobby Westendorf, George Irwin, and Mike Lee. And let's give a special welcome for tonight's honorary coach, Joyce Lopez, Western Washington University's Vice President of Business and Financial Affairs. A junior from Everson, Washington, a 5'10" guard, number 3, Riley Dykstra. A senior from Broomfield, Colorado, 5'10" guard, number 12, Steph Peterson. a senior from Vancouver, Washington, a 6'3" forward, number 15, Brooke Walling. A sophomore from Vancouver, Washington, a 5'5" guard, number 23, Mason Oberg. And a junior, Bellingham's own, 6'3" forward, number 33, Aspen Garrison. And those are your Western Washington University Viking starters. And now to recognize officials' appreciation.
Good evening and welcome to Sam Carver Gymnasium. You're watching a top 25 matchup in the country. Number 9, Montana State Billings comes into Western Washington University territory. The Vikings, number 17 in the nation. Two of the best teams in the GNAC and the best West region teams maybe in the entire West region. We've got a good one here on Vikings TV. Zen Hill joined alongside Butch Kamena, going to take you through this epic matchup.
Oh, I am so excited for this. These teams met 3 times last year. Montana State Billings won the 2 regular season games. An epic here at Carver, a 66-64 overtime game that Aspen Giese hits a game-winning 3-pointer, and then the Vikings in the GNAC tournament championship game come from 17 down to get a 76-71 win. We got a fun one tonight.
Tip-off goes to your Vikings, and they will start with it first. The Vikings, the reigning GNAC champions. Montana State Billings, the first time facing off after losing to the Vikings last year in the GNAC championship here in Bellingham, Washington. Mason Oberg for your Vikes falls to the ground off a foul, and that's how we'll start the first possession of this game. A push goes on Aspen Giese. Vikings 7-1 in the GNAC. Montana State Billings 8-0. They are undefeated in conference play. The Vikings, though, on a hot streak as well as Billings. One will come to the end tonight, though. Vikings 6 straight wins. Montana State Billings 7 straight wins. Vikings with 15 on the shot clock. Mason Oberg in the corner for the Vikes. No dribble for her. She finds Brooke Walling. Brooke Walling gets it back from Garrison. Puts it up and in.
A little runner, a touch off balance, but Brooke Walling now just 4 points from 1,000 in her Viking career. Well over 1,000 in her collegiate career.
Hit that earlier this season. Montana State Billings now in their offensive set for the first time tonight. Here's a 3-pointer. Shayla Montague is no good, and Riley Dykstra gets the rebound. Steph Peterson falls to the ground into the corner off a pass, and out of bounds. They'll say Vikings ball off a tip from Montana State Billings. No tip called on the floor. Brooke Walling, she had 22 points in that game against Montana State Billings in the GNAC championship.
This replay here. Oh, no, we are back live, sorry.
So Steph Peterson dribbles it down for the Vikes. Peterson coming off a phenomenal 15 points and a double-double on Thursday, as well as some great defensive effort. 5 steals for her. Looking for Brooke Walling. It's tipped loose and stolen. Shayla Montague for the Yellow Jackets now dribbling up. Gives it to Courtney Nelson. Nelson outside, Deani Boyce. Montague hands off outside Giese. Shot clock to 15. Courtney Nelson for 3. Bank shot.
At home. She is the one player in the starting lineup who is not a big 3-point threat. She's only hit, I think, 7 all season. But the bank is open tonight for her.
Finding that 6th teammate on the floor, Montana State Billings grabs a 1-point lead. Oberg all alone on the left side, gets a screen from Brooke Walling. Now Oberg to try and answer with a 3. She does!
Back in the starting lineup tonight, and that's key. You know, she's averaging about 11 points a game. Very consistent 3-point threat is Mason Oberg.
Mason Oberg, just a sophomore for this team, but the impact is that of a senior. Here's a spin move put up by Boyce, can't get it to go. Aspen Garrison with a board. Peterson to handle down court. Oberg now on the right side. Oberg putting a shimmy on. Looking for Walling, gets it to her. Guarded by Cola Badbear. Walling drives in now, double team, switches over, finds a cutting Dykstra. Riley Dykstra caught in her own paint and tied up. And the simultaneous will result in a jump ball.
Tied up by Cola Badbear there. It'll be Yellow Jackets ball. Cola Badbear, a transfer from Montana State, the Bozeman campus. A 3-year starter there, about 10 points and 5 rebounds a game the last 2 seasons. She's been a big addition for this team.
Bad Bear coming off of 20 points and 9 rebounds against Simon Frazier on Thursday. Montague outside. Oberg in her face. High post now, Deani Boyce. Garrison there. Boyce falls to the ground and a foul on Aspen Garrison. Aspen Garrison was in some foul trouble on Thursday. Played just 16 minutes in the Vikings' last contest. Inbound into the corner. Courtney Nelson for 3 again. Back-to-back threes for Montana State.
Courtney Nelson came in 7 of 26 from 3, and she hits 2 quick ones.
That one found net and now stolen by Nelson, handling in transition. Yellow Jackets with Nelson. Top of the key, Bad Bear, down low. Boyce tipped loose, Aspen Garrison with a steal. Vikings regain it after the turnover. And a chance to answer back now, Vikings.
High screen.
Oberg, misdirection now, back to the basket. Riley Dykstra in the corner, feeds Garrison on a nice lob and a nice finish. Aspen Garrison with the layup. Back and forth, Aspen Garrison had just 6 points versus Seattle Pacific. Gets on the board early.
But over the last half a dozen games, her overall scoring has increased.
Nelson again, too strong on it, back iron. Rebounded by Stephanie Peterson, outlet pass up to the left side, Riley Dykstra. Dykstra crosses to the left, turns around, and an offensive foul is called on Riley Dykstra. So that'll go as a turnover to the Vikings.
Yeah, it's got that forearm extended, a little shove, and Nelson goes down. Courtney Nelson's kind of been involved in just about everything so far.
Maddie Gramboyce onto the floor. Riley Dykstra sits down, as well as Olivia Wickstrom subbing in for Aspen Garrison. Montana State trails by 1. This one stolen by Peterson. Steph Peterson now will slow it down for the Vikings. Gets a bounce pass inside that was kicked by the defense, and the Vikings will get it on the baseline.
She had a huge night the other night. Not just the 15 points and 10 rebounds, but throw in 5 assists, 5 steals, 3 blocks, no turnovers, no fouls.
They inbound it to Peterson in the corner, who gives it up to Wickstrom. Top of the key, Maddie Gramboyce for 3.
You give her that long. With both of these teams, there are shooters that you simply cannot give that kind of time to tonight.
Vikings 4-point lead now. 2 scores ahead of Montana State Billings early on in our first quarter. Inbound pass tipped out of bounds by Kola Badbear, and the defense by the Vikings forces a turnover. Kola Badbear was maybe looking for her first points, but could not get it. Maddie Gramboyce on the board early after coming off the bench for Riley Dykstra. Steph Peterson with the press in front of her. Courtney Nelson face guarding. Mark Walling high outside, finds the cutting Wickstrom. There's the reverse layup that can't go, just short. Vikings unable to convert. Courtney Nelson handles it. Chloe Williams out there for the Yellow Jackets. Driving is Boyce. Boyce to the right side is fouled by Gramboyce. Maddie Gramboyce fouled out on Thursday off the bench for the Vikings. Picks up her first personal. And Deani Boyce will shoot her first free throws of the night.
Deani Boyce, 5'11 junior. Really unique inside, outside threat, physical. Can put the ball on the floor. Does a lot of different things. Really an all-around 4, and a very modern 4. And she can play just about any place on the floor, and she can guard a post. She can guard the wing a little bit. As I said to you in pregame, of all the opposition people that come in here, I like her game as much as anybody in this conference.
Last season, she led the Yellow Jackets in total points, with sight being second in points per game with 10.7. Onto the court now, Caitlin Grossman, as Kola Badbear will sit down without any points in this first quarter so far for the Yellow Jackets. Gramboyce on the right side for the Vikings, up 2. Peterson behind the back, loses her dribble. Inside Brooke Walling with a turnaround fadeaway, cannot get it to go. Defensive rebound by Deani Boyce. 8-10 deficit for Montana State Billings. Pass is tipped. Steph Peterson with another steal. In the passing lane is Peterson. Peterson hezzy under the basket. Wraparound pass to Gramboyce and a layup.
Great look, and Steph Peterson just continues to play brilliant basketball this week.
She's got 2 steals already tonight. Vikings lead back up to 4. Daniel Zahn newly checked in. Corner pass to Chloe Williams. Chloe Williams rips through 2 defenders there. Ball on the ground. Steph Peterson fighting. And a jump ball will give the Vikings possession. And a hustle play by the Vikings. And who else but Steph Peterson. Vikings get possession of it. 4:07 left will send us to our first media timeout. Vikings up 12-8. You're watching a Vikings TV matchup.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Welcome back to Sam Carver Gymnasium, WECU Court. Give you another score from the GNAC. The Western men tonight playing in Nampa, Idaho, fall 75-72 to Northwest Nazarene despite 25 points from Kaya Johnson. The other game there today at Northwest Nazarene, a bit of an upset on the women's side as Central Washington falls to NNU 74-68.
These 2 teams are the top in the GNAC conference, but of course, more than just 2 teams end up making that postseason tournament. We've seen a couple magical runs from some GNAC teams, whether it's on the men's or the women's side. But these 2 teams definitely heavily favorited.
Well, and the top 2 spots do get you a bye in the opening round as well, as Demi Dykstra gets called for a travel. And so that's important. And then the other thing is, too, is that these are 2 teams that right now are near the top in the regional rankings. So this game is huge for that and the possibility as we go down the line of being in position to host the regional tournament.
Exactly. Driving ball is lost. Steal by Stephanie Peterson. Outlet pass Grambois. Grambois to Wally.
Oh!
On a lob. Stolen by
steal
Demi.
by Dykstra.
Demi Dykstra up through the contact, cannot get it to go. Vikings jumping the passing lanes tonight, forcing the turnovers. Montana State Billings had 25 turnovers against Simon Fraser on Thursday. They've been struggling this week holding the ball.
And that's completely uncharacteristic. They came into the week turning the ball over less than any team in the GNAC, and there's another.
Steph Peterson again, and a breakout layup.
Peterson's got 5 steals already. Timeout, Montana State Billings.
Electric in Carver Gym. Vikings with an 8-point lead. We'll be right back after this timeout break.
Welcome back. We are live, so I'm just going to send it right back to Zen Hill. Take it.
Butch, we'll get back to you on that little bit about Steph Peterson, but Montana State Billings is looking to come out of this timeout and not face too big of a deficit against the Vikings. It's already an 8-point lead to the home team. That layup is no good. Steph Peterson on a rebound. Stephanie Peterson leads the break for the Vikings as they slow it down now outside Maddie Grambois. Grambois faking a couple passes, hands off to Demi Dykes for the freshman. Olivia Wickstrom in the corner, transfer out of Utah State. Spins around, finds a cutting Walling, and a left-handed layup is good. Vikings are rolling in every facet of the game in this first quarter. Now a double-digit lead for Western Washington.
Yeah, and an 8-0 run here as well.
Danielle Zahn Outside for three. She gets it. A good answer by Danielle Zahn.
This is probably, maybe Central Washington would contest this a little bit, the best three-point shooting team in the conference. The Vikings are very good as well, but
Steph Peterson was looking to find Demi Dykstra in the corner right as Demi cut to the basket, and a turnover for the Vikings. As Mason Oberg and Riley Dykstra will come back in for the Vikings, the starters replace Steph Peterson and Maddie Grambois.
so that was a 13-2 run before the Zahn steal. Peterson does have 5 steals. 5 steals the other night. Her scoring's up. Remember, she started the season with a broken bone in her wrist, left hand, and was wearing a big cast. It was tough to catch the ball. This Bad Bear misses from the elbow. And, it took away, I think, some of her confidence. She can actually spin off the dribble now with either hand. She can get rebounds much easier. Boy, and we're seeing the absolute best of Steph Peterson these last couple of weeks.
Vikings on offense, 7-point lead, 18-11, 126 left in the first quarter. Tipped loose into the corner and stolen away by Montana State Billings. Aspen GC dribbling it up, gets a pass into the corner to Courtney Nelson. Back outside Zahn. Zahn tried to get it down low, stolen away. Once again, this time Riley Dykstra with a steal for the Vikings. And Olivia Wickstrom will handle it atop the key for the Vikes.
If you want to see a matchup tonight, Walling.
Deep three from Oberg. Oh my!
We'll leave the matchup for a while. Mason Oberg from very deep.
The lead is back to 10 for the Vikings. Zahn down low, Cola Bad Bear up through Walling. Bad Bear gets it to go.
And there's the matchup I was going to talk about. These are two of the best posts, although they can play on the perimeter as well. Post players you're going to see in all of Division II in Cola Bad Bear and Brooke Walling. This is a great matchup between them tonight.
Brooke Walling 6 so far. Cola Bad Bear her first basket just there.
Both of them over 16 points a game on the season, and they do a lot of other things as well.
Oberg thought about a three, top of the key. Olivia Wickstrom will try her own three-pointer and make it. It's up to 11 for the Vikes. Montana State to hold for the last shot, potentially, of this first quarter. Zahn, step back, elbow, jumper is good. What an answer. Vikings inbound it, and that's how this first quarter is going to end. 15-24. Your Vikings lead the number 9 team in the nation in a top 25 matchup. You're watching Vikings TV. We'll be right back.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, I don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
It's important that what I do as a job is something that I find meaningful. I ended up applying to the cybersecurity program at Western. The aspects of the program that really stand out to me is the hands-on experience.
Being able to work interdisciplinary and bring cybersecurity to marine science, bring it to communications, bring it to everything is what really makes it interesting.
Welcome back. It's the Vikings 24-15 lead after a quarter. And here you're going to see Brooke Walling, a great back cut, and point number 1,000 as a Viking for Brooke Walling. And it has just been an outstanding career she's had here, and also her time at Fresno State. Her career scoring is up at like 1141, I think, now. But 1,000 points as a Viking for Brooke Walling, and many of them on those back cuts like that.
Exactly. We were caught up in so much of the awesome action that was going on here. We forgot about Brooke Walling hitting her 1,000th career point, but glad we got back to her, and just another amazing achievement for her in her career. Nelson can't get it off the layup. It is rebounded by her, and she can't get the putback either. Back on her way in the second quarter. Vikings with a 9-point lead. Mason Oberg out there. Oberg crossing to the left side. Stuck with the ball, finds it down low. Brooke Walling. Aspen Garrison now one dribble up with the left and good.
Nice. 4 points for Aspen Garrison.
Vikings with an 11-point lead. Aspen GC pass down inside now. Deani Boyce is back out there. Shimmy to the left side is too short on it. And Steph Peterson with a rebound. Vikings had a remarkable first quarter, shot 76% from the field. Trying to carry the hot shooting into the second. Pick and pop, Brooke Walling for three. Yes!
Vikings up 14 here.
Vikings are 5 for 5 from three. MSU looking for an answer. Billings up with a layup. Courtney Nelson finds her way into open space.
And we should note that in the first meeting over there last season, Courtney Nelson had 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. So she's very capable of having this sort of night.
She had 11 against Simon Frazier, has 8 points already tonight. Dykstra into the key. Dykstra outside Peterson. Peterson trying to get it to Garrison, who is held down low by Cola Badbear.
So Cola Badbear and Aspen Garrison were both in Division I last year. They played against each other in Bozeman, a 91-56 win for the Bobcats. I'm going to get flack for not knowing that.
Come on.
Not remembering that. They both started, didn't have big games, but did guard each other. But I was there.
You were
actually
there?
Was at that game because my son is a Montana State grad, and as is his wife. And for me to not remember Bobcats instantly is...
Hoberg was trying to go no look there, ends up turning it over instead. And driving in, Natalie Andreas.
Oh. Midfield didn't want to finish to the left and put it back in the right and banked it home. Very nice little move.
Cuts the lead to 10 now. Vikings in the corner with Oberg. Merck Walling down low, one-on-one in that region. She goes to work with the right hand, cannot get it to go. Aspen GC now in transition. It's a 1-on-2. She doesn't have the advantage, so she'll slow down instead. And Deani Boyce now atop the key. Andreas tries to get it down low. Brooke Walling in the passing lane. Another steal for the Vikings. Outlet up to Peterson. Peterson finds the cutting. Walling reverse, cannot get it to go. Boyce now turns it. Garrison behind her. Almost poked another one loose, but instead the Yellow Jackets retain.
It's like one of those old pantomime things. Look behind you.
Mm-hmm. She had two teammates around her and still no one yelling out loud enough at least. Into the corner. Here's a three from Giese. Cannot get it to go.
Her first attempt of the night.
Riley Dykstra in the corner. Peterson atop. Directing traffic. Gives to Oberg. Oberg bumps a three. Oberg will try another deep one for her.
Oh, wow.
And Mason Oberg is on fire. A first quarter is followed up by this by the Vikings from downtown. Now 2 for 2 in the second. And a foul off the ball is called. And I think this one is going to go on Aspen Garrison. It is. So Garrison will pick up foul number 2 early on here. But how about Mason Oberg? 9 points tonight, 3 for 3 from three-point range. Graham Boyce comes back in for the Vikings. Olivia Wickstrom out there as well.
Yeah, this is her return to the starting lineup. She'd had a calf injury, missed a few games, and then came off the bench in the last 3 contests. So coming back with a bang.
He's on into the corner down low. Bad Bear, but an offensive foul is called. And it turns things over. Cola Badbear, an offensive foul. Her second personal. Vikings up 13, 6 minutes left in this second quarter. Stephanie Peterson to Brooke Walling. Walling's got 9 points tonight. Here's Olivia Wickstrom for 3. Too short on it. And rebounded by Montague. Montague back to Zahn. And a foul off the ball called once again in Montana State's offensive possession.
Wickstrom and Andreas battling for position, and Wickstrom got a forearm in the back just a little too hard. Sent Andreas stumbling, and Wickstrom picks up the foul.
Montague to inbound. Passes outside Giese. Giese into the mid-range, pulls up and is way short on it. An air ball. Vikings retain it with Maddie Graham Boyce. Graham-Boyce on the right side, looking for a pass, gets it to Walling. Peterson in the corner, fakes a screen. Peterson dribbling around, and Maddie Graham-Boyce maybe thought that one was going to Olivia Wickstrom and pulled back her arms, and the ball goes out of bounds. It turns it over from the Vikings.
Western's 9th turnover. MSU Billings has 11. It has been a little sloppy, and the defensive pressure has been pretty intense, to be fair.
It is an intense atmosphere tonight. Kola Bad Bear outside. Aspen Giese lost her dribble, gives it back to Bad Bear. Head fake now into the left side through 2 defenders, into the corner. Andreas for 3. She's too strong. Wickstrom, a good defensive rebound. 5 minutes with a 13-point lead for the Vikings. Olivia Wickstrom going to work back to the basket. Back out Peterson now. 12 on the shot clock for the Vikes. Peterson tries a 3. No good off the right side. Graham-Boyce on the floor. It is secured by Montana State Billings. Danielle Zahn handles it up the court. Graham-Boyce in her face. Danielle Zahn on the perimeter. Danielle Zahn pull up from the mid-range. Cannot get it, too short. Gets her own rebound, though. Kicks outside. Montague for 3. Yes! Cuts the lead to 10. Montana State Billings with a 3-pointer.
That is her game. Well over half of her attempts come from 3. Just an outstanding 3-point shooter.
She scored all 9 points on Thursday from the 3-point line. Lead is cut to 10 as Jaden Watts comes on for the Vikings. Courtney Nelson is on, and Deani Boyce.
To give you the full sense here, she's taken, coming in tonight, 111 threes, only 22 twos as we go to a timeout.
Immediate timeout. We'll be right back on Vikings TV. Vikings up 10.
The legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Welcome back to Carver Gymnasium. Your Vikings playing here at home against Montana State Billings. Vikings this season at home are undefeated, a 9-0, and it speaks for the impact that fans like our Carver Crazies make here. You know, with free student admission, can't ask for a better crowd to show up and root our team on. It just makes everything more fun, makes the players a lot more confident on the floor as well.
Thank WECU for the sponsorship of that. That's made that possible. And
we have definitely seen an influx of fans this year with the free student tickets with an ID. Vikings to inbound out of the timeout. Jaden Watts cannot handle it and turns it over.
So now the 10th turnover for Western, but the Vikings are shooting 65% from the field, 13 of 20, and 75% from 3, 6 of 8.
Montana State Billings has a chance here to cut it within single digits.
Double high set here.
Boyce down low. Andreas spins on Watts, cannot get it to go off the right. It's too short. Dykstra handles it, and Steph Peterson regains a wayward pass. Steph Peterson driving with her left, stops her dribble, gives it outside to Maddie Graham-Boyce. Graham-Boyce to the left, spins around, gets hit to the floor, and they call her with a travel before. She went for the spin, and she is slow to get up for the Vikings. She will be subbed out by Demi Dykstra. Mason Oberg on for Steph Peterson as well. 3:37 left in this second quarter. Montana State Billings, the top scoring team in the GNAC, struggling in this first half. Dribble handoffs, Chloe Williams. Boyce kicks it far side. Montague for 3, cannot get it to go. Just bounces out of the rim. An offensive rebound by Bad Bear, who puts it up. And a foul on the shot will send her to the line. Jaden Watts with a personal foul.
Kola Bad Bear, as we said, a transfer from Montana State in the Big Sky. Actually went through senior day last year, got to the end of the season. She is from Billings and decided she wanted to play at home for a year.
It's a fun way to
went
do
to
it.
Billings, the most strangely named school in America, Billings Senior High School. There's 3 schools in Billings. There's Skyview, there's West, and there's Senior.
Where's junior high school?
That's what I want to know. My son's roommate went to senior high a couple years ahead of Cola Bad Bear, and we ribbed him about that endlessly. So we will get letters from Billings now, I'm sure, but I still don't get it.
A 1-for-2 performance from the line from Cola Bad Bear, so the lead is down to 9 in single figures. Mason Oberg for Western Washington, and an offensive foul called on Oberg as Courtney Nelson ended up on the floor.
It's the second time tonight Courtney Nelson's been able to get in front of a driver. Got the forearm once and the forearm again. And it's not a flop.
No,
but she's getting that forearm, and once she's getting it, she's already leaning back. There's no reason to try to stay up at that point, right? That's good defense.
and as we see, they get possession off of the call. Nelson gets her way into the paint, cannot get a layup though. Demi Dykstra is in her face. Vikings up to Wickstrom. Wickstrom passes tip, trying to get it to Riley Dykstra, and stolen by Deani Boyce.
Boy, neither of these veteran coaches can be pleased with the number of turnovers to this point. The two teams have combined for 24 through 17 and a half minutes.
There's been a lot of fast breaks, but Montana State Billings without a fast break score. Vikings with 6. Pass inside, a nice one, finds an open player, Deani Boyce.
And Kevin Wooden has been there for 20 years, and they've run lots of stuff out of those double post sets, and they get a good set there to get Boyce a layup.
Vikings lead cut to 7 now. Riley Dykstra way open is Olivia Wickstrom, who gets it off the bank.
She back cutting somebody. Her defender lost her. Wickstrom was all alone under the basket. You and I might have made that lay-in.
I think anyone watching could have made the lay-in. Courtney Nelson now. Yellow Jacket handoff. Chloe Williams without a point tonight. Boyce outside. Full of Bad Bear high outside. Boyce.
Oh, nice
And a nice
move.
scoop layup by Boyce.
And a good entry by Bad Bear, but the cut and the finish, the leaning finish by Deani Boyce.
90 seconds left in our first half. Vikings 7-point lead, 34-27. Wickstrom, 2 defenders in her face.
A bit of a 1-3-1 trap here from Montana State Billings.
And a
Steph
double
Peterson
dribble.
double dribbles.
We're at Demi Dykstra turns it over in the corner on a double dribble, and Maddie Gramboyce is okay off the bench. Will sub in.
They will spring that. They'll a lot of man, but they'll also play some 2-3 here and there. And they will throw that 1-3-1 trap at you at times, and it was very efficient on that position.
Very effective against this Vikings offense that has found their way all night. 66% from the field. They are shooting it well if they can get off those shots. Courtney Nelson. Pop three-pointer is good by Deani Boyce.
Did I say I like her game? Yeah, that's a great shot. Does a little bit of everything.
Just a 4-point lead for the Vikings.
From Winifred. I don't even know where Winifred, Montana is.
And before the shot of Mason Oberg, we have a foul. And it's a blocking foul that goes on Courtney Nelson, her first personal. 50.2 now on the clock. Baseline inbounds coming for the Vikings. Oberg gets it in. Demi Dykstra in the right corner. Dykstra stepping through, and the ball is tipped loose and out of bounds. It'll be Montana State ball. Demi Dykstra wanted the call, as all the Vikings faithful did here in Carver Gymnasium, but Montana State will hold it. Chance to go 2 for 1. It'll be Courtney Nelson, and they're going to hold this thing. Boyce outside. Tries to get it into the high post, stolen away by the Vikings. Graham Boyce in a 2-on-2 with Walling. Kicks back outside Oberg. Just a second difference between shot and game clock. Oberg draining it down atop the key. Steph Peterson on that left side directing traffic. Here's Graham Boyce, head fake, pump fake. Graham Boyce to the right. Outside Steph Peterson. Peterson gonna step back, take a 3, try to get a bank, could not get it to go. That's how our first half ends, ladies and gentlemen. A 34-30 lead number 17 over number 9 Western Washington, leading it. At the half, we will get an interview with Adam Race and assistant coach Stacy Terrell about that first half from the Vikings, a half that they should be happy about aside from the turnovers as well. But we'll send it down now to the court with Adam Race.
Adam Race alongside assistant coach Stacy Terrell. Stacy, you guys shot over 60% in that half, 6 of 8 from 3. What'd you see offensively?
I mean, we just weren't afraid. I think that we took what they gave us, and they gave us our 3-ball, and we just were super confident in it, and it was working.
11 steals in the half, 5 for Steph Peterson. Talk about the defense.
She's just so long and smart and kind of all over the place, and that girl just plays with so much heart, so she's working hard.
Thank you, Stacy. Good luck in the second half. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the last half of action here at Carver Gym.
I would summarize my experience at Western as I was a guarded, nerdy kid who loved to perform, who allowed herself to put in the time and effort to carve herself into something.
Jump in the trunk, jump in the trunk,
And whatever that was has led me to where I am right now, to be a fully realized woman. And I'm really thankful for the time and the effort that I put in for myself, because if I didn't do it, no one else was going to.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Welcome back to Vikings TV and its coverage of this top 25 NCAA Division II matchup. Number 9 Montana State Billings trailing the number 17 Western Washington Vikings 34-30 at the half. Zen Hill and Butch Kamena here on Vikings TV. This Montana State Billings team that is undefeated in the conference trails by 4 to their biggest foe in the GNAC so far.
Yeah, let's hit you with some stats here. For Western, 9 points each for Brooke Walling and Mason Oberg, 5 each for Maddie Grambois and Olivia Wickstrom, 4 for Aspen Garrison, and 2 for Stephanie Peterson. For Montana State Billings, it was led by 9 points from Deani Boyce. Courtney Nelson had 8. It was 5 for Danielle Zahn, 3 each for Cola Badbear and Shayla Montague. I talked to both their families at halftime, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 for Natalie Andreas. There we get the full team stats. Western shot 60.9% from the field, despite the fact they only had 2 points in the last 6 minutes of the half. 67.7% from 3.6 of 9. Montana State Billings only 42.3% from the field overall, but 5 of 10 on threes. Western did not shoot a free throw in the first half, which is interesting. Rebounds pretty even, and neither coach could be particularly pleased about the turnovers. 14 for Western, 12 for Montana State Billings. And I'll add there, Krista Montague was a athlete at Montana State Billings, and then she was my compatriot as a compliance officer, and then became AD, and now does university advancement. So somebody who's had a big part of that program there, and Shayla, her daughter, is senior, so they are going to just about every road trip that they can here is in the last kick of the can.
This Western Washington team probably not feeling as confident as they would have liked, despite what the stats say. It's just a 4-point game. You would at least expect a team shooting 60%. That's winning the boards is going to be winning the game at least.
Yeah.
But
well, A, you don't shoot any free throws, and B, there's so many turnovers. And so you think both coaches probably talked about that at halftime. These are 2 veteran coaches, Carmen Dolfo, 33 years, and Kevin Wooden, roughly 20 years. Both the winningest coaches in the history of their programs. They have gone to battle in the GNAC for a long, long time. They've both had great programs for many years. And aside from the turnovers, we're seeing that tonight.
Oh, yeah. Western Washington will handle the ball in our third quarter as we're out here, and a foul. Instantly, just 7 seconds into our first half here.
Nelson trying to jam Oberg as she made a cut and did a little too much, picks up her second foul of the night. The Yellow Jackets back in the man-to-man here, and we saw did see a bit of that 1-3-1 trap at the end of the half.
So Steph Peterson, Oberg, Walling, Garrison, and Dykstra out there, the starters for the game, and the starters in this half. An offensive foul is called on Brooke Walling.
So, in a sense, that's right. Brooke Walling moved. Everybody runs that play with that little elevator screen where you run somebody through it.
Yeah.
Come on.
So the Vikings turn it over on their first possession of the second half with the offensive foul.
I understand why it was called. There's a lot of nights where it's not.
It can be said about a lot of things out here. Shayla Montague outside. Donnie Boyce out there for the Yellow Jackets. Courtney Nelson. Cola Badbear is down low, and they get it to her. The Badbear through 2 defenders, cannot get it to go. Riley Dykstra with the defensive board up to Steph Peterson. Peterson cross-court pass, Mason Oberg. Mason Oberg settles in the corner. Steph Peterson gets a screen from Walling, set this time. Riley Dykstra down low. Walling had a mismatch, but tipped loose by Giese. Vikings get it back, though. Into the corner, Mason Oberg. 9 on the shot clock. Oberg into the lane. Fakes it, goes up now, can't get it to go. Brooke Walling gets it with a reset shot clock. She'll dribble outside. Steph Peterson head fake into the left side, up with the left hand, cannot get it to go.
Good aggressive take, but couldn't get it to fall.
No baskets so far in our second half. Montague with Mason Oberg guarding her. High post, Cola Badbear. Montague down low to Deani Boyce. Boyce has it fallen loose, regained though by Montana State. And Steph Peterson in the passing lane.
Steal
what else?
6.
And she finishes a transition layup.
6 steals, 5 rebounds, and now 4 points.
Oh my.
For Steph Peterson.
Vikings lead 36-30 thanks to Steph Peterson in this second half already, picking up where she left off on Thursday and in this first half. Here's a three-pointer. Montague is short on it, and Steph Peterson grabs her 6th rebound. Mason Oberg now on the left side for the Vikings. 2 minutes gone in our third quarter. And it has been a slow start for both teams as an off-the-ball foul is called. It goes on Kola Badbear, who was guarding Aspen Garrison. Stephanie Peterson, she might end up with a double-double with steals and rebounds tonight.
It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
Exactly. I'm not putting it past her. High post Aspen Garrison. A pull-up jumper is no good. Too strong. Riley Dykstra was looking for an offensive board, but a good job by Deani Boyce to secure it.
You're going to have me scrambling to see if there's been
Three-point
a 10-steal game in D2 this year.
Montague cannot get it to go. A double-double without points. We'll see.
Well, I just want to know if there's been a 10-steal game.
There, that's exactly. Pass inside to Garrison. Finishes with the right. A very nice dime from Riley Dykstra. Riley Dykstra picks up her 4th assist of the game. Aspen Garrison on the board.
For all the turnover, there's a 3 by Boyce.
No good from Boyce, and rebounded by the Vikings. Peterson goes to the right side now with Dykstra. Riley Dykstra, no dribble. Brooke Walling, guarded by Kola Badbear, tipped loose, double team on it. Brooke Walling will wrap up the defender and force a jump ball in possession of the Yellow Jackets.
Vikings 11 assists on 16 field goals. And some of the reason they rack up assists well is that Brooke Walling is such a good passer. Top 150 assist people in D2. There are only 3 of them over 5'11". And Brooke Walling is one of them.
She is the women's basketball Jokic out here.
Ashley Ingram at Texas Women's, who Montana State Billings played earlier in the year. Bad Bears on the post. On the other one, we've mentioned her before, Hannah Giddy is 9th in the country in assists at 6'2".
Oh, wow.
And leading the country in block shots.
Brooke Walling is 4th in the conference with her 3.4 assists per game. Vikings lead at 6 with 6:25 left in our third quarter. Brooke Walling with a pull-up from the dunker spot. Hits it short, and it rolls in.
The short corner. Very nice little look by Brooke Walling. Now up to 11 points, 5 of 8 from the field for someone who is entered the week leading the nation in field goal percentage.
She gets a very generous roll from the rim there. Here's a pass down, though. Boyce cannot get it to go, but a foul on the floor.
Did you say a generous roll in Carver, Jim?
That's every shot.
That's never happened before, right?
So Aspen Garrison, foul number 3 here. To the line goes Deani Boyce. And she makes the first of 2. Maddie Graham Boyce getting ready to check in for the Vikings.
Just under 87% from the line coming in is Deani Boyce.
Boyce is averaging 14.8 points per game. That is 8th in the GNAC. And now the Vikings lead 40-36 after the free throws, under 6 now. Graham Boyce is out there now for the Vikings as Garrison is taken off. Olivia Wickstrom into the corner, Riley Dykstra.
2-3 zone here from Billings.
Back to
couple
Dykstra.
Possessions.
Dykstra gets a fade out to Brooke Walling, who tries a 3 and gets it.
Her second of the night.
The stellar three-point shooting from the Vikings continues right there with another three-pointer. Now 7 for 10 from downtown. Courtney Nelson tries to get it inside Kola Badbear, and a foul is called. It is an offensive foul.
A good angle on that. Let me get a good look here. This is the three-pointer by Walling. Even better, the penetration by Riley Dykstra leads to the kick out. Brooke Walling up to 14 points.
And that personal foul for Kola Badbear is number 4.
That is huge.
That is a missing piece that has just exited the floor. And Chloe Williams subs on for Kola Badbear. Badbear, the leading scorer of this Montana State Billings team. Pass inside Wickstrom, 2 defenders on her. And she is fouled down there. Foul goes on the newly checked in Chloe Williams. And we'll have a timeout on the floor. So your Vikings up 43-34, 5:07 left in our third quarter. And this is going to be a coach's 30-second timeout, so we'll keep things here for this one. Vikings, it's been a slow start to this third quarter. A game that had first 2 quarters where it seemed like both teams were just going back and forth. It seems like things have cleaned up, and now the offenses are a little bit slower.
Yeah. Well, and really that happened to the Vikings in the last 6 minutes of the quarter. I came 900 miles to watch my sister. It's kind of unfortunate for him that Cola picked up her 4th foul.
I know. I saw the T-shirts at half, and I was like, they've got some super fans in the crowd,
yeah.
the Cola Bad Bears T-shirts.
Well, and talking to the family at halftime, they're just happy that she's home in Billings. And, it's only a 2-hour drive to Bozeman. In the winter, though, it can be a bear to get to a game. And
I'm
so,
sure.
Like the other thing for Montana State Billings tonight, Aspen Giese had 3 incredible games there last year. The regular season game where she had a game-winning 3-pointer and went 10 of 11 from the field, and a great performance against Central Washington in the conference semis, and a good performance in the championship game as well. She averaged 19.7 points in those 3 games last year, which is well above. She's never been a consistent double-figure scorer, but tonight just 0 for 2 from the field. She does have 3 steals, but has not been a scoring threat to this point.
And a big thing, haven't seen a lot of 3-point attempts from her. She comes into this making 35 threes already on the year.
Yeah, just 2 shots, 1 from 3, and then a little runner she missed from about 8 feet in the second quarter.
So back underway out of the timeout for Montana State Billings. Vikings
Shot
with the ball.
Low, but Wickstrom.
With the layup. Olivia Wickstrom scoops the left.
The patience when you're late in the shot clock to not panic and get a good shot.
Olivia Wickstrom, 7 points now tonight. Courtney Nelson driving kick, extra pass into the corner. Deani Boyce for 3. Having a great game is Boyce.
14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 of 7 from the field for Deani Boyce.
That's her second 3-pointer.
From Winifred, population 170, according to the good work done by Adam Race at halftime.
Maddie Graham-Boyce in for another Vikings layup on a cut. And the lead is back to 10. 4 minutes for the Yellow Jackets in this third quarter. Courtney Nelson, Olivia Wickstrom on her. Nelson falls to the ground, keeps her dribble alive though. Very nice handle right there. Chloe Williams, Boyce now in a very similar spot as Brooke Walling on the other side, and that putback is good by Sheila Montague. Maddie Graham-Boyce on the left side, Brooke Walling. Boyce there finds another cutter, and it's Maddie Graham-Boyce on back-to-back possessions. Graham-Boyce now 9 points. Boyce pull up from the elbow off a crossover, can't get it to go. Olivia Wickstrom a defensive rebound for the Vikings. Vikings winning on the boards 19-14 so far through this game. Wickstrom to Steph Peterson. Under 3 minutes in our third quarter. Riley Dykstra has been quiet tonight. Olivia Wickstrom behind the back. Gets it tipped loose, stolen away. Courtney Nelson in transition. Nelson up through the contact, can't get it to go. Good defense by Steph Peterson. Peterson outlet up to Wickstrom. Wickstrom slows it, pulls it back. Finds her teammate on the other side, Brooke Walling. Extra pass into the corner to Riley Dykstra. And a foul is called, I believe. So we have a media timeout on the floor. 2:36 left in the third quarter. Vikings up 49-39. We'll be right back on Vikings TV.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Welcome back to WECU Court. Now, I want to fix myself off something. There was a layup made earlier, and I thought I saw a 12. Looked like a 5, I guess, to everyone else on the court. Aspen Geesey picks up her first layup.
Aspen Geesey's first bucket of the night.
Exactly.
And
I accidentally gave it to Montague.
a bunch of people in Fort Benton forgive you. So
I apologize. So out of the timeout, 10-point deficit for the Yellow Jackets. They have the ball. Danielle Zahn is out there. She's the majority ball handler in this possession. Geesey is out there as well. Here's a cutting down to Boyce, and it is rejected by the Vikings. Vikings, who else on defense? Steph Peterson there making an effort. Steph Peterson will handle it as well. 7 rebounds, 6 steals, 1 block.
Oh.
Now, and a three-pointer. Western Washington. How about Steph Peterson?
just face up and knock it down. Wow.
7 points now. Here's a chance to answer. Cannot get it to go. Offensive rebound off the Andreas miss. They get it back, Andreas. Garrison is out there. And Andreas cannot get it to go. Olivia Wickstrom with the rebound. Vikings back up to a comfortable lead with 13. Largest lead was 14 with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. They feed down low to Aspen Garrison. Drops that move with the left.
Tough shot. Took the contact, fell away, and was still able to get that left-handed banker in.
Off balance gets Aspen Garrison, point number 8 tonight. And now with the largest lead, 15 for the Vikings, with 1:16 in our third quarter. Andreas, top of the key. Chloe Williams on the left side for Montana State Billings. Here's Aspen Geesey for 3. Cannot get it to go, way off on the right side. Peterson will dribble it down, give it into the corner to Olivia Wickstrom. Wickstrom with Boyce in front of her. Wickstrom goes left. Wickstrom spins around, trying to get through. She scoops to the left. Somehow found her way into an open spot for a layup.
The long steps and the long arms of Olivia Wickstrom bought her space that we really didn't think was there for that layup.
Wickstrom now 7 points, 5 rebounds off the bench for Western Washington. The junior out of Bainbridge Island. Transfer out of Utah State has been a great impact off the bench for this team. Inside, Chloe Williams answers back with a left-handed layup of her own. Vikings lead back down to 15 now. Shot clock turned off for the Vikings. Western Washington trying to make a statement going into this fourth quarter. They're swinging it around the perimeter. Wickstrom looking for a teammate. 5 on the game clock. Outside Peterson, 2 seconds. Peterson fadeaway 3 is too short. So the Vikings will have a 56-41 lead over Montana State Billings as we head to our fourth quarter. Western Washington looking to pick up win number 8 in the conference season and shut down Montana State Billings, who's undefeated so far in the GNAC season. We'll be right back with our fourth quarter of play. You're watching Vikings TV.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, I don't have to try it. Go and get it. Go and get it.
Welcome back. And on a cold, rainy night, the sort of night you certainly wouldn't want to drive over Snoqualmie Pass, inside Carver Gym, the Vikings have been hot. They are shooting 64.9% from the field. And the big key to that, 8 of 12, 66.7% from three-point range against a Yellow Jacket team that's allowing teams to shoot just 26%, 26.4% from three-point range this year. Astounding performance from the perimeter by the Vikings.
Out of the timeout, out of the quarter break, the Vikings with a 15-point lead. Aspen Garrison is inside, and she finishes on an and one attempt. Aspen Garrison a quiet double digits now with 10 points.
This is now an 11-2 run for the Vikings over the last 4 minutes. It was 47-39, a fairly tight contest.
Aspen Garrison averaging 10.1 points on the year. Makes point number 11 to give the Vikings a huge lead.
All of a sudden, the biggest lead of the night, 18 points, 59-41.
Vikings with a press here. Yellow Jackets break through it. Shayla Montague atop for MSUB. Montague inside, Brooke Walling closes out. Walling ends up on the floor. Ball is tipped around and eventually handled by Steph Peterson. Olivia Wickstrom up on the right side for the Vikings. Looking for a teammate as the Vikings dish it around. Peterson goes around a fake screen from Garrison. Maddie Grambois is out there, feeds Garrison again. Down low, Aspen Garrison with a turnaround. Cannot get it to go. Just too strong. And quickly, Courtney Nelson goes in transition. Pass outside, Aspen Giese for 3. Rolls in and out. Offensive rebound, Montague with a putback.
5 points for her.
And something that Montana State has done well in this game, they have heavily out-rebounded Western Washington on the offensive side of things, although Western Washington isn't missing enough shots as Brooke Walling gets an offensive rebound on cue. Steph Peterson to try a 3. Can't get it to go. Garrison tried a putback, and the Vikings unable to convert after some second chances.
If you order that up, they got 2 of them on that possession. They'd only had 1 the whole game going into it.
I guess so. Spoke it into existence at least. Boyce has it tipped free. Maddie Grambois with a steal. Grambois quickly now. Lobs it up to Brooke Walling.
Oh, it did it again.
The second time, Brooke Walling with a lob pass finish. That's going to force a coach's timeout. It'll be extended to the full media. So the Vikings with a 61-43 lead. We'll be right back on Vikings TV.
The legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Hey, a big night for Brooke Walling. 16 points, her 1,000th point as a Viking, and 2 alley-oop lobs. This one in transition from Maddie Grambois, and after Brooke had gotten one earlier, you kind of saw this one coming, that she was gonna, and that little underhanded flick over the top, a beautiful pass, and Walling with her second little alley-oop of the night.
Vikings hold an 18-point lead now with 8:14 left in the fourth quarter. Montana State needing a large comeback to try and remain undefeated in the conference season. Here's an elbow jumper that rolls in for Shayla Montague. And Montana State scores out of the timeout. They will press against the Vikings.
Down 8-16. You've got to speed the game up somehow.
Here's Walling inside, goes high off the glass and in.
And gave Bad Bear just a little fake that she might go to Garrison, pulled it back and finished.
Courtney Nelson on the left side for the Yellow Jackets. Cola Bad Bear out there with 4 fouls. Yanni Boyce, high post. Montague tries another one and is way off the backboard. Brooke Walling gets it and will choose to slow things down for the Vikings in transition. Maddie Grambois will be the ball handler. Mason Oberg back out there for Western Washington. Mason Oberg, 9 points, 2 assists as one of the lead guards for this Vikings team. Steph Peterson, another wonderful do-it-all night for her. She looks for a cutting Garrison, gets it to her. Aspen Garrison goes cross-court, and it's stolen away, Aspen Giese.
Both teams have cut down, despite that one. Have cut down on the turnover significantly in this half.
Inside now, Deani Boyce with a nice spin move, puts it up, but a little bit too high as Garrison grabs the rebound on the miss. Steph Peterson gives it up to Oberg. And the Vikings will just at this point try and shimmy their way down as many seconds as they can, chip away every possession to try and inch towards a lead where some would say they weren't favored to win, but on the home court, it's hard to doubt the Vikings. Burke Walling pick and pop. Can't get it to go. This is a MSU team, as there's a nice drive, but tipped out of bounds by the Vikings defender, Matty Grambois. This is a Montana State Billings team that improved in just about everything from last year. They're scoring the ball better. They're shooting the ball way better.
And they were really good last year,
exactly.
too. Let's be clear.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
this is a team that reached the second round of the NCAA tournament last year.
And they climbed the ladder even more, but this season it seems like the Vikings are just something that Montana State cannot climb.
Well, and let's be fair, it's one night.
It is
right?
one
and
night.
over the course of a season, these things happen. There's going to be another meeting in Billings.
It's a fun meeting.
I would not, obviously Central Washington and Simon Fraser and Alaska Anchorage are going to have other things to say about this, but you wouldn't be surprised at least that we would see these two teams in a conference final,
exactly,
given where they are in the standings right now. So, hey, it's one night. It's tough on the road sometimes, and the Vikings have come prepared. They have shot the lights out tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And that's some nights you just get rolling and you get a sense of confidence, and the other end you can't make shots. But the body of work that both of these teams have produced this year is outstanding. And if Western does hang on, boy, this is interesting. What we see in the national polls, and obviously the national polls don't mean anything except just a reference point. But 17th in the coaches poll, the team in front of the Vikings, Central Missouri, lost twice this weekend. Not many losses ahead of that, but do you move ahead of Billings when they were 9th, right? Both these teams would have 3 losses right now, so.
There could be even a scenario where we end up in the Division II national tournament and these two teams end up facing off in the West Regional.
In the West Region somewhere. And you would anticipate that both these teams, I mean, you look right now.
There could be 4 matchups between these teams.
If you look right now at the numbers, and there hasn't been an official ranking yet, let's be clear. If you look at the numbers that the committee uses as part of their stuff, as we have a review going on, that's why the delay. The RPI numbers, if I remember right, Azusa Pacific is number 1, Billings is 2, and Western is 3. Look at the performance indicator number with a different way to look at it. Western is number 1. And then San Marcos, who beat the Vikings earlier in the year, is number 4, and Anchorage, and both of those, and Anchorage is hovering around 5. So if you can win 2 out of 3 out of these, if these teams play 3 times and you win 2 of them, you have a chance to host the region.
Yeah.
Right? If you win all 3, you have a really good chance to host the region, especially the Vikings, who beat Azusa Pacific earlier in the season at Azusa. A road win is huge.
And home court advantage would mean the world, I think, for Western Washington. We saw it. They're the first team to win a GNAC title since it's been introduced at home. That was last year. Well, it truly does make a difference, as we're even seeing tonight.
And we've seen what regional tournaments are like here, and I'm sure if it goes to Billings, it's going to be the same way.
Oh, yeah.
If it, they would pack it out for that.
The last regional tournament to be hosted here was volleyball. I was lucky enough to be there with Sean Church calling those games. Of course, Western season didn't end up how we all thought it would. But
if we go back to 2019 or 18 when they won one here, and 2019, I think, and that was an absolute madhouse. And the women have hosted, women's basketball has hosted regional tournaments, men's basketball has hosted regional tournaments. Even when we go outside, and women's soccer has hosted a number of those over the years, and that draws well. There's nothing like being at an NCAA regional and hosting that. It is.
So Western Washington, as we approach the midpoint of the conference schedule, they'll be looking to pick up potentially their 3rd straight GNAC championship. Of course, won last year here at home, won in 2022. Now, when was the last time that you saw a team go 3 straight? Butch?
I'm trying to remember 22. There's a banner up there. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, okay, so you're definitely right. Good question.
Did I finally stump you on something? I finally got you?
Yeah, it's 3 straight in women's basketball. Well, I'm looking at all the banners, and we haven't done it.
It would be a feat.
I'm going to go back. I would suspect that somewhere in the history of either the GNAC or the Pac West, and probably this goes back to the old Pac West that the GNAC broke away from.
Called a Bad Bear with an and 1.
that Seattle Pacific, back when Gordy Presnell was coaching him, he's now at Boise State, and his assistant, Lynn Roberts, is now the head coach at Utah, that they probably won 3 in a row. Those are some really good teams.
I'm sure at some point when it comes close enough to being a potential for the Vikings, we'll get some real numbers thrown out there, some real news releases.
I'm spitballing that, but I suspect they had some really, really good teams. And those were just as Western was coming into Division II, and so I don't recall it really well, but I would not be surprised.
Vikings on offense here. 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter after the review break. Now, nothing seemed to come out of the review. I was unsure what they were reviewing, maybe potentially a flagrant of some sorts, but nothing out of it. Chloe Williams for Montana State Billings. Kick outside. Cola Badbear tries a 3 and gets it. All net for Cola Badbear.
Yeah, she is a very good three-point shooter. Over 40% from the year on about 2 attempts a game. So you cannot fall asleep on that. And hey, the lead is 12. And this 1-3-1 trap is back.
Oberg in the corner to answer back. She does for Western Washington.
One of the weaknesses of a 1-3-1, you can usually get a good look in the corner.
And you cannot give Mason Oberg a good look, especially tonight. 4 for 4.
4 for 4 from 3. 4 for 5 from the field overall. 12 points.
Chloe Williams steps through, wraparound
nice
pass,
look.
and the reverse can't get it to go. Just rolls out for Natalie Andreas. Vikings will slow it up now with Mason Oberg. Under 5. If the Vikings would hold on, they'd go to 8-1 in the GNAC. Inside pass, Brooke Walling off the hands and out of bounds.
Nice idea, just a very tight space. It wasn't an easy pass, but if Walling catches that, she probably scores. I don't complain about that effort at all.
Riley Dykstra checks back in for the Vikings. Demi Dykstra sits down. Both Riley and Demi Dykstra have not scored tonight. Demi is 0 for 2. Riley's yet to take a shot. Wow. It's an odd game plan night for Riley Dykstra. Just not getting the looks. Chloe Williams is way too strong on a 3, but an offensive rebound by Danielle Zahn. Zahn wraparound pass, Cola Badbear in there. Brooke Walling picks up the foul, and 2 shots coming for Cola Badbear. And a very nice pass. Zahn set that all up. You see Walling coming over a little bit too far. Brooke Walling, personal foul number 3 on her. Cola Badbear, she is 2 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. And despite having her 4 personal fouls, she has played 24 minutes to this point.
Riley Dykstra over her last 5 games. Over the last 6 games was averaging 14 points a game.
And without a shot tonight.
And about 10 shot attempts, maybe just a tick under that.
Vikings break the press. Brooke Walling in the corner for 3. Can't get it to go. Ball tipped loose on the ground at the free throw line. Body's on the floor, and it's wrapped up between Stephanie Peterson and Chloe Williams. And the possession arrow goes to Montana State. Billings down by 13 here. 4:10, plenty of time to make a run. We saw them close out the second quarter very nicely to cut the lead to 4. They'll need a very similar run to bring this one close. Badbear wraps around, a great finish.
They set that up. She popped out off of that double high look and immediately attacked the rim with that drive.
And they keep feeding her on back-to-back possessions.
She's averaged 17 points in conference play, so the Vikings turn it over again.
Peterson was looking for the cutting Riley Dykstra. Instead, it's a turnover. MSUB now down 11. Nelson driving kick. Cola Badbear tries a 3, rolls out. Would have been a huge shot, and Stephanie Peterson is fouled. Foul by Natalie Andreas. Shayla Montague will come back in. Aspen Giese entering for Montana State Billings, as well as Deani Boyce. They join Courtney Nelson and Cola Badbear on the floor. They will press here on the Vikings inbound. 3.5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Vikings break through the press. Mason Oberg driving in, switches sides, goes reverse, cannot get it. Tip out though by Garrison. And an offensive rebound resets it. Here's Riley's first shot of the game. She gets it.
Well, some things are worth waiting for.
Exactly.
They're going to look at something here. I'm not sure what. I'm pretty sure she was behind the line.
Vikings with a 69 to 55 point lead. And how about the 3-point shooting? 10 for 18 after that three from Riley Dykstra, 55%.
So there was some activity under the basket there, looking at possible elbow.
So the Vikings, if they are to win this, would be tied for the GNAC standings. Below them would be Alaska Anchorage at 5-3. Central Washington tied with Alaska Anchorage at the record of 5-3 in conference play as well. As you can see, it's the Aspen Garrison hit, I believe, on Courtney Nelson that they are in question here.
Up on the post up here.
Just took an elbow to the face is what it seems like. Seems incidental, at least for the moment.
It is high, but she turns around and looks like, ooh, what just happened there? It's not one of those things there was any intent on. Now, a high elbow sometimes still gets called.
Yeah.
It's flagrant.
Exactly, especially with when it has contact to the face.
Right.
It is more lean towards the direction of a flagrant. We will see what the official record is. These two teams last season, Western Washington finished with a 24-4 overall record, 16-2 in conference, and Montana State was right behind them at a 25-8 record with a 14-4 record in the conference. Two teams both well on their way to the top of the GNAC this season if all continues for them. So no flagrant, and Montana State will have it on the baseline. 3:14 in the fourth quarter. 14-point lead for the Vikings. Billings is just hanging around enough to keep this competitive. They will need a good stretch of buckets here.
Keep the tension for just a little longer, right?
Right, exactly. Colabert ends up on the ground. Brooke Walling, excuse me, that is Aspen Garrison on the floor. And the foul is on Aspen Garrison. That'll be her fourth, as the two were tripped up down low.
Cola Badbear has turned up the Jets in the last 3 or 4 minutes here. This has been impressive.
They are just feeding her possession after possession, as she's either finishing a layup or getting to the line. Makes that one now 5-6. And being aggressive, too, on offense with 4 personal fouls. Not scared of an offensive foul.
At this point, you're down double digits. You're
the leading scorer. You
3 minutes left. You got to take over. And it's impressive to the extent that she's done that.
Lead is to 12 for Western Washington. 250.
She's up to 17 points now.
Exactly.
That is Badbear.
Riley Dykstra over to the right side. Kicks into the far corner. Garrison. Spin move, fade away. Can't get it to go. Too short. Rebounded by Shayla Montague. Outlet pass up to Courtney Nelson. Nelson hands back to Montague. Montague to Giese in the corner. Giese with her back to the basket. Nelson fakes one. Drives inside. Tries to get a pass to Nicola Badbear. Tipped around and out of bounds. It is Vikings ball.
Maybe Courtney Nelson should have shot that. That was a difficult pass and looked like she had a little bit of an angle to get a shot off there. But she still had a solid night. 8 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of steals.
Dykstra to inbound. Riley gets it in.
So straight man-to-man pressure here. No trap on this possession.
Mason Oberg makes it into the front side of her offense easily. Stephanie Peterson dribbling around the perimeter as the Vikings drain clock in this possession. Under 2 minutes now. 7 on the shot clock for Western Washington. Mason Oberg with an offensive foul. She gets called again for one of those tonight. It'll be her second personal.
Was that Nelson again? No, this is Giese.
Giese hitting the floor this time.
And again, the arm kind of got out. And it's probably a good call.
Nelson to Badbear. Badbear down low. Boyce up there. Garrison with the foul. And that's going to be it for Aspen Garrison. And it's going to be an and one as well for Montana State with a chance to cut it to single digits. So Garrison exits the game with 11 points, 5 rebounds, an assist and a block. Maddie Gramboyce will come in, so the Vikings sacrifice some height. Off the foul out. Gramboyce, 9 points off the bench for the Vikings. A rebound, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Now will likely finish this game for Western Washington.
So 10-point game here, 147-9 now that Boyce knocks down the free throw. She's got 17 points and 6 rebounds. 17 points for Bad Bear. They are the 2 leading scorers. That's kind of what you'd expect from the Yellow Jackets. The Vikings will work some clock here and then try to get a good shot at the end of it.
They break the press now with Graham Boyce. Stephanie Peterson back outside Graham Boyce, fakes a 3, kicks it back outside Peterson. Peterson cross court to Oberg, 9 on the shot clock. Oberg a deep 3, just too strong on it. Brooke Walling offensive rebound. Shot clock reset for the Vikings.
So now you can run another 20 and now they'll foul. Nelson will foul Stephanie Peterson. And they are not in the bonus yet. That is only the 3rd team foul for the Yellow Jackets.
So 20 seconds as the shot clock resets. Maddie Graham Boyce to inbound. Montana State will be looking for a steal. They get it into Peterson, who they will foul once again, this time Courtney Nelson again.
So that now is the 4th. So from here, after this one, Western will go to the foul line.
Courtney Nelson with 4 fouls enters that dangerous foul out territory with now Cola Bad Bear. So someone else will have to give the take, and it will be an inbound to Mason Oberg. They will not foul here. Giese. And now Giese ends up. Yeah, she definitely ended up trying. Didn't look like it at the start, but now the free throws will be taken by Mason Oberg.
Mason Oberg, 82.4% on the season coming in tonight. Her first free throws tonight. In fact, this is the Vikings' second free throw of the night.
Hey, they're perfect tonight. Yeah. 1 for 1. So Mason Oberg, 12 points tonight on offense. They all came from 3-point range as she makes a free throw.
You're getting late here. Let me jump to Stephanie Peterson for a second. 7 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals. Oberg makes the second, 14 points for her. We did check. There have been 4 10-steal games in Division II this year, one of which we mentioned the other night because it was part of a quadruple double for a player at Holy Family in Philadelphia.
Bad Bear pump fake, puts it up, rolls off the rim, and Vikings fighting for a rebound, bodies on the floor. And there was going to be a foul called, and not a jump ball. And the foul goes on Riley Dykstra.
So Giese will get a couple free throws here. See the, and yeah, through the arm there probably.
Giese just 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3.
Yeah, and she's shot so well here in previous games, just has not had a good night.
She has struggled with her free throw shooting this year, just a 60% free throw shooter despite being a 41% usual shooter. But she does make the first.
Circle your calendars.
Yep.
February 22nd.
Run it back.
The rematch in Billings.
Exactly. I'll be watching.
Yes.
As many, at least many watching this would probably be at the game.
You might be watching. You might be here working too.
I probably will be here working.
But there is a time so we can watch the first half and then.
The time difference. So the Vikings with a 9-point lead after the 2 free throws good from Giese. And this just becomes the foul game for Montana State Billings. They're going to have to send the Vikings to the line and try and.
How much can you extend the game? How many possessions can you make this game take?
Exactly.
You know, try to steal an inbounds pass, try to do something like that and maybe get that extra possession. But otherwise, you're fouling and hoping you can score and see how long you can drag this thing out. And, hey, let's go back to a year ago. Yep. That's what the Vikings were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They'd hit 3 threes in the last 2 minutes of that game to force overtime. Steph Peterson hit the last one, even though Montana State, but they were down 9 in the last 2 minutes. This is down 9 with a minute, but things happen.
I think it was it Walling, Truett, Riley, Steph Peterson?
Yes.
I think that was the order.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll foul Steph Peterson off the inbound.
Only because I watched it today. Riley Dykstra hit the first one, I think, didn't
oh,
she?
Okay.
I think it was Dykstra hit the first one.
I know Walling had some magical 3 in there.
Walling hit the shot in overtime, the runner from about 15 feet out.
Yeah. We thought, what we all thought was the game winner.
And
then
Aspen Giese, who had an incredible night, finished it with a 3-pointer to win it.
That was something to be a part of. I remember I was here and I was standing up ready to interview Brooke Walling after the game because, you know, she just hit the game winner and I just dead silent in Carver Gym, except for, of course, the Montana State bench.
And despite the Western loss, one of the best games I've ever seen. I mean, and I've hung around this place for way too long. I've been watching basketball here for 35, 36 years, and that's as good a game as I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I was lucky to be in the crowd for that, at least.
Yeah.
Since I didn't end up getting an interview, I guess I was there as a fan. So I'll take it. It was a fun experience. So Stephanie Peterson went 1 for 2 from the line. Vikings will have a 10-point lead with 56.1 left. Montana State Billings, we'll see what they go here. Do they go three? They've got to go 3-pointers.
Well, more than anything, you have to go quick.
You have to go quick,
right?
And you
got to make up 10 points. You can't afford to run 10 or 12 seconds off the clock looking for a good 3. If there's a lane to the basket, you take it. And the other thing about scoring is, with the rules now, it stops the clock, right?
Yes.
So stopping the clock is you score, you stop the clock. If you have a good 3, take it. But you're not at a point yet where this is still where they need to stretch this out to 4 or 5 possessions, probably at least. Probably 5 possessions once you add up all the variables. You got to score fast.
So here we go. Montague to inbound for Montana State Billings. Inbounds it to Cola Bad Bear. Bad Bear hands back to the inbounder Montague, trying to work around a screen. Vikings denying the 3-point shot. Giese goes around now to the right side. Here's a pop. Boyce will try a 3. She's too short. Riley Dykstra gets the rebound. Maddie Graham-Boyce will be fouled, and she'll go to the line with 41.2. Vikings did a very good job denying the perimeter for Montana State Billings.
If you're going to deny that hard, in my mind, with 52 seconds left,
hit it inside.
See if you can get. Now, they really didn't have a lane, to be fair, but have something where if they're going to deny that, you can turn the corner and get to the rim. But
they tried the drive and kick instead. Boyce could not make the 3.
Yeah.
Graham-Boyce makes the first of 2.
And to be fair, there weren't real big open lanes.
Yeah.
They penetrated, but the rim was still pretty well protected.
There never is very many open lanes against a Western Washington team like this. Graham-Boyce goes 2 for 2 from the line, now 11 points in double figures. She's the 4th Viking to hit double digits. Montague, Peterson in her face. Courtney Nelson goes inside past Walling and gets a layup. And Carmen Dolfo will call the timeout this time for the Vikings.
A 30-second timeout, and at this juncture, we'd probably keep it right here anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's give you some of the individual scoring here. Brooke Walling, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Does not have a blocked shot tonight. It's a bit of a surprise. 8 of 13 from the field. Mason Oberg, 14 points, 11 each for Aspen Garrison and Maddie Graham-Boyce, 9 off the bench for Olivia Wickstrom, along with 5 rebounds. And then Steph Peterson, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals. For Montana State Billings, 17 points each for Cola Bad Bear and Deani Boyce. Boyce also has 6 rebounds. It is 10 points for Courtney Nelson, 7 for Shayla Montague. The Vikings are shooting 57% from the field and 52.6 from 3, 10 of 19. Montana State Billings 38.6 and 33.3% from 3.
So with
and Riley Dykstra, I think, stepped out of bounds.
So a turnover for the Vikings that gives Montana State Billings an extra possession here, down 10. 27.8 left in the 4th. So here goes Billings. Courtney Nelson dribbling up quickly now. Nelson will stop and pop for 3. Cannot get it. She's short. Giese with a rebound will dribble out to the 3-point line. Kick cross court. Nelson with a fading 3. Cannot get it off the backboard and out of bounds. It'll stay to Montana State with 15.7.
And now I think you can warm up the bus. You can.
I can start
do the
giving
Red
the
Auerbach victory cigar.
So, what I was waiting to say at least, of course, pending the win, Montana State Billings entered this game the top scoring defense by just 0.2 points, as there's a nice bank shot by Shayla Montague. Western Washington will retake the title as the best defense in the GNAC after this victory and just add to that repertoire of one of the lowest allowed field goal percentages and now the least points per game allowed in the conference. This Western Washington defense is legit. It is no joke. It's shut down a Montana State Billings team that is the best in the conference, averaging 73.5 points.
Vikings entered the week 10th in defensive field goal percentage, 34.2%, and I don't think they've done much to damage that here tonight or over this week.
Yeah. And another thing they're going to leapfrog a little bit is they came into this game 6th in Division II for their field goal percentage, which was 47. They're at 56
that'll
tonight.
go up a little bit as well.
So Walling to inbound here in front of the table. 14.1 left here to drain for Western Washington. They get it into Stephanie Peterson, who will hold it in the corner and get fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. Now post-game, Adam Race will be on the floor with Brooke Walling, who is, I guess we could assume to finish with 18 points, maybe a little bit more if she gets sent on a foul, but 8 rebounds for her, 2 assists and a steal in 36 minutes for the Vikings tonight.
So what Steph Peterson needs is to make both free throws. For Montana State Billings to come down, miss a long 3, and for it to fall in her hands before the horn goes, back-to-back double-doubles.
It might happen. We need an
She's
miss.
got so the first piece has happened. This is our last bit of drama for the night here.
Into the corner for MSUB. 6 seconds left. They kick outside. Giese goes around a screen, gets it fouled by Riley Dykstra. It's going to say blocked, but it is a foul, and she'll shoot 3 free throws.
The overwrought groan from the crowd when that foul was called.
I think
was
everyone wants to
classic.
celebrate. They want to celebrate the win. 1.5 on the clock.
Hey.
And hey, they got to call the game till the buzzer ends. So, and the first free throw is missed by
They still
Giese.
shot at a long rebound here.
You're not wrong. She's got it. There is a shot.
We're trying to drag out the drama here.
We're trying to give Steph Peterson back-to-back double-doubles. Either way, it just I don't understand what changed in their game plan. It seems like now Steph Peterson is on the rebound every time.
think she's just a lot more confident. She was struggling to catch those earlier in the year. So
Yes.
you don't go crash hard.
And she will.
And now that she's healthy, it's different.
Vikings dribble it out. A victory. Number 17 upsets number 9. Western Washington takes down Montana State Billings. They end their undefeated streak in conference play. Vikings move to 16-3 on the season, 8-1 overall in the conference. Montana State Billings falls to 17-4 in the GNAC, 8-1 now in second place of the GNAC standings.
This is a great win for the Vikings. Hey, as we said, these are the 2 teams that everybody thinks is going to be at the top. And there'll be other teams that have a say. If you get this win, and now you look forward again. Coaches will always say 1 game at a time, but as fans, we can look forward to this game about 4 weeks from now.
We'll send it down now to the court with Adam Race and Brooke Walling for a post-game interview here on Vikings TV.
Adam Race alongside Brooke Walling here. Brooke, this is a statement win. Talk about how important it is to get a victory against one of the top-ranked teams in the nation.
It's really important. Billings is a great team, but we just really came out to play today. We stuck to our rules, and it was great to get a win at home.
Billings is one of the most efficient offenses in the nation. What was the defensive game plan going into this one, and how do you think you guys executed?
We just had to be committed to staying together and talking and doing what we know how to do and pressuring them, and we got a lot of steals, and that was really working for us.
Yeah, speaking of steals, talk about the performance from Steph Peterson. 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals. How important has her performances been this week?
She's just so consistent. Like, she can read the pass so well and pick it off, and she's just been great this year. She's having a great senior year, and I'm so proud of her.
And congratulations to you on 1,000 points as a Viking. Talk a little bit about that milestone.
Oh, it means so much. I'm so proud to be here. I'm so happy to be here. It's been a great 3 years, and I'm excited for the rest of the season.
7-game win streak, 10-0 in Carver Gym, staying here at home into the next week. Talk about the momentum and the feel in the locker room right now.
Yeah, we know we're really excited about this win, but tomorrow we got to focus on the next, and that's Fairbanks, but it'll be fun to celebrate tonight.
Thank you, Brooke. Great game tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tune in next week, Thursday, as the Vikings take on Alaska Fairbanks. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Good night, and as always, go Vikes.